Hi, my name is Andrew Kinney. I'm an attorney at Hoglund Law Offices. I practice Social Security disability law. Today I'm going to talk about borderline intellectual functioning and how you can be approved for that. Many of our clients have families that help other family members with difficulties in school. It can be considered a learning disorder. At times, though, the learning disorder is profound enough that in school there's testing for IQ. Some of the IQ testing results can have numbers that mean that someone is challenged enough that they may be approvable for Social Security benefits, either as a child or as an adult. An adult would be over age 18. So today I wanted to talk a little bit about how Social Security evaluates those situations. Social Security has definitions of disability, and those definitions are called listings. When you look at definitions of disability in terms of mental impairments, Social Security specifically lists out 12.05. That is a listing for mental retardation as they list it. Borderline intellectual functioning would be equivalent to that. Within 12.05, there's a sub-C category which talks about IQ in particular, and if someone has a valid IQ of 70 or lower and a significant other impairment, that can allow approval for Social Security benefits. First, a valid IQ. Social Security usually does a consultative exam, or they rely on older testing records to show the IQ score. The validity of the IQ score depends on the evaluations by the person giving the IQ test, and that generally has to be someone qualified to do it, so specifically a psychologist. If there's a valid test, then the IQ score stands. If it's 70 or lower, according to current law, with some exceptions, if it's 70 or lower, then there needs to be one significant other impairment. That doesn't mean it needs to be fully disabling, and a significant other impairment, according to listings, simply needs to affect the basic ability to do other work activities. So ADHD would count, depression would count, low back pain would count with some verifiable problems. So what we look for is an IQ score that's valid and some other impairment that we can identify that's diagnosed in the record. One of the other elements that can be overlooked by a lot of non-attorneys and some attorneys with IQ scores is that despite a low IQ score, which may put someone within the definition of disability, they may show over time adaptive functioning. It is a good thing if someone is challenged in school but can overcome those challenges and work at a job and learn a job and do it fairly independently. That is adaptive functioning, is an example of it. But that does not always happen. Sometimes with adaptive functioning, a has problems that they cannot work at a job, and the jobs don't work out, or they have friends that work with them but it doesn't work out because they need their friends to be able to maintain the job. So the basic idea here is, when you're looking at issues with borderline intellectual functioning under Social Security standards, we also look to see if, despite the testing scores, there's been some favorable adaptive functioning. With all those things in mind, you can see that it can be very important to consider having a law firm and a licensed attorney helping you with your Social Security claim. If you have questions about Hoglund Law Offices, please feel free to call 1-800-850-7867. And that's the number on our screen below, or check out our website at hoglundlaw.com. Thank you.